Hello again, it's Joey John Maguire at home, confined to barracks as I call it, in my living room. Just starting to get dark. Just after 8 o'clock, it'll be dark by 9. Just about to recite and upload my latest poem. A little bit more difficult when I'm at home because my Wi-Fi isn't that good. Hence the reason why I always go out and upload in my nearest Witherspoons or some other pub. Plus the fact I like a beer. Lager actually. Carlsberg. My latest book, it's called New Beginnings. I've pinched the cover, but as it won't be going on sale, I don't think it really matters. And everything I do is for charity. And the first poem in my latest book is for a very special lady anyway, as I've already uploaded and explained. And two very little babies who are on their way. Hopefully everything will be okay. Like I say, I'm about to recite my latest poem. It's called Thoughts from a Guttersnipe. It's about homelessness. And the title of the book, at first, when you read the poem, you may think it doesn't refer to it, but it does. Because I've had a lot of new beginnings in my life, including 2 long bouts of homelessness post very violent attack where I got a life-threatening head injury, from which I have over the years somewhat recovered, but not totally. Anyway, you only have to read my poetry to realise that. Thoughts from a Guttersnipe. It's a long poem. I waited in quiet subservience, hoping something would come my way, having never once thought of one day becoming a vagrant. But then I thought, who in their right mind does? Mirrors and shop windows on my list of things to avoid, for I gathered very quickly that they were messengers of truth, depicting the stark reality, albeit reflections of what I had become. Vagrancy hits like a tsunami. It is not a thing that's planned, an overnight happening. It is a burglar, steals everything of value to leave only an empty shell. Forget personal hygiene and money. They are first to fall by the wayside. Integrity and pride quick to follow, as willpower and dignity struggle in the aftermath of trauma. And in every single case, without exception, it is only time and circumstance that prevents hope from slipping through the newly found hole in your world. Shame weighs heavily, outlining troubles you never knew you had. What you thought was a heavy burden attracts other burdens like a magnet, making forward progress nigh on impossible. And so begins the slow, sinking descent into the waiting mire. Your newly acquired beard serves more than one purpose, for it keeps you warm and hides the crevices on your face caused by the pain, and of course, old friends pass without noticing that underneath it all is you. Sunny days like rainy days are so depressing. Every day becomes the same when you live outside the walls. Nothing separating the searing heat from the freezing cold, because you have been numbed by the isolation and trauma of it all. Hunger and deprivation are great levelers, leaving nothing to the imagination. The wilderness is an awful place to be banished, and you have a long journey that you must still travel before you'll find salvation. if at all. Out come the do-gooders, also on the list of things to avoid. Rule number 1 on their doctrine, to be seen to be doing good deeds. And before you give, demand copious amounts of grovelling, followed by an equal amount of gratitude. Always in the background, death looms in the form of the grim reaper, always smiling, always willing to give help from his outstretched hand. But it too comes at a price, for the only thing he wants is your soul, and be sure of this, there will come a moment when it's all you have left to give. Salvation may come. Life has some winners, even those who are not deserving. But it may also be found at the end of a shared needle or from the bottom of a bottle. Respite isn't always found in some far-off bloody Disneyland. You will learn to contain your rage, disappointments and frustrations becoming luxuries belonging to your past. They, in turn, will be overwhelmed by the utter hopelessness of your pitiful situation. Things you once tolerated seem so different now. Every kindness seemed to come attached to an ulterior motive, as did all the wicked things ever done. Foreign handouts, immigration, other people's opinions take on another meaning, as betrayals open your eyes to your predicament. Your world seems to have changed forever. Your arrogance in naivety did not serve you well. Blind to others' suffering, you walked into a web of tangled truth and lies. That was reality, and you found out that every good turn done in the past was not carried forward to the future, by which I infer your whole existence amounted to nothing. Your new life in the gutter was founded on purgatory, a catalyst for bitterness that would destroy you, should you choose to succumb, a fact driven home every time your eyes meet with the eyes of a fellow rough sleeper. You have a new position to fulfill amongst the have-nots, and it comes to you free, though not without a hefty price tag. Suicide is always on the menu, the final option when splatting onto concrete seems preferable to wallowing in the shadow of humanity. But be aware that you will be branded a coward for taking the easy way out, leaving you nothing left to do but wait for that out-of-reach miracle to save you from yourself and the certain death the gutter has to offer. Joey John Maguire. I'm sorry I didn't read that as well as I should have, but I think I made my point. I shall never forget the years I was homeless. Never, ever.